Welcome back to Whitney Alex Works recap of The Bachelor Season 26, Episode 12, the finale, Part 2. This is the second half of Clayton's end to his time as The Bachelor, and let me just say it was packed with emotion, heartbreak, and some form of a redemption, but not without severe consequences for all of the remaining women. Let's dive in one last time. We left the ending of part 1 with Clayton realizing that he is in love with Susie and wants to chase after her, knowing that he may be chasing after Ghost. But he has committed, rain or shine, he's going to fight for Susie. The only problem is he has strung along Gabby and Rachel, and they just met his family. We see host Jesse Palmer knock on Susie's door, explaining to her that Clayton feels terrible about how things ended with them and wants to be able to speak to her again. Susie is emotional as she also regrets how things ended with Clayton. Jesse then invites her to go and see Clayton if she is willing. Clayton is then seen talking to his parents, telling them about his love for Susie, and then Susie walks in, and it's a little strange, but she gives Clayton's parents a hug, and then her and Clayton go talk outside. They sit down, and Susie says her piece. She believes that even after what happened between them, Clayton is a, quote, good human, but she felt humiliated and felt like a stray dog that was shooed away. Clayton then acknowledges his lack of etiquette and apologizes to Susie about how he treated her and the entire situation and how it played out. He then tells her that he believes she is an incredible woman and he wants a second chance with her. He is willing to go all in with her only if she wants him back. Susie is shocked and she doesn't know what to think, but she believes he is genuine. Then she leaves and Clayton knows what he must now do. He must now break up with both Gabby and Rachel, and this is not going to be pretty. We then see Clayton getting ready for something that is going to be remembered as one of the most controversial decisions he has made so far this season. He knows this decision will make him not well liked by viewers, but he is willing to take that title if it means another chance with Susie. Gabby and Rachel are still confused about what is happening with all this as they start to realize that neither of them have had another date with Clayton after meeting his family, and they realize that something is up. Clayton then comes to visit them and finally reveals his true feelings with Rachel's dad Tony in the square watching, which is yikes, as Clayton tells both Rachel and Gabby that he is in love with Susie and that it's over. He has decided to pursue Susie. Gabby is pissed and she walks out while Rachel is heartbroken and shocked. And now Clayton goes and tries to talk to Gabby first. He wants to talk to her, but Gabby has had it. She tells him that she doesn't know who he is anymore and how everything he has told her was ultimately a lie. She basically chews him out and says he has a lack of experience with these type of situations and feels hurt that he couldn't just pull them aside one by one and not have this group breakup. Clayton then asks to walk her out and Gabby says no, she will walk herself out, and she does, having enough of the BS Clayton just put her through. Then Gabby is live in the studio with Jesse Palmer, and when she is introduced, her grandfather is there to support her and gives her a hug as she takes a spot in the hot seat. Gabby reflects on her journey and how she felt like she didn't have all sides to the story, but watching the season back, she realized how things made sense with missing pieces. But Gabby speaks her truth. She ultimately felt betrayed by Clayton and had false hope that he would pick her in the end. Then Clayton comes out to face Gabby since that day in Iceland, and they are pretty cordial with them sharing a quick hug, and Gabby tells Clayton that she felt misled and ultimately betrayed. And there really isn't anything Clayton can say as his actions speak louder than words, but he does try to apologize for how he handled things, and it's hard because the audience of course is on Gabby's side, but Clayton does try to respect the situation as much as he can, but it's not an easy situation as he has to do an apology tour for most of the episode. Now back to Iceland. After Gabby walks herself out, Clayton then goes and talks with Rachel, and it's pretty painful to watch. Rachel is truly hurt as she just met his parents and now he's decided to ultimately pursue Susie, and Rachel is in tears saying that she fought for this relationship and he never once did, and she says that this is going to haunt him, and she's devastated because she really thought it would be them two together in the end. But Rachel understands that this is his decision and he walks her out. Even though she is still so upset, she asks him, "Are you really going to send me away?" And she's still crying, but it's over. Rachel gets in the car and she says that he gave up on her. Alright, that was, an ugly situation all around. And of course, that was very hard to watch. And then we see Rachel on the couch and she is emotional when we see her for the first time since Iceland. Rachel then talks about her journey on the show and where she is now. And she says that she felt blindsided and disrespected, as she too acknowledges that Clayton should have broke up with her and Gabby separately. But even though she is emotional, she says that she has no more love for Clayton. And when Clayton comes to the hot seat, you can tell there is more tension there, as Rachel does not reach out to engage. Instead, when it's time for her to say her piece, she, like Gabby, says that if she knew more about what was happening, she would have stood up for herself, and says that she was collateral damage in his selfish journey to find love. And she tells him that he disrespected her. And Clayton tries to apologize, but Rachel says she doesn't believe him anymore. And then Jesse Palmer asks Clayton if there is anything he would like to say to Rachel's parents who are in the audience. And again, yikes. Tony is there, and after Clayton apologizes to Rachel's parents, Tony says that he has nothing good to say, so he won't say anything at all. And with that, we are left with a sad situation, as Clayton is going to try and fight for Susie's love back in Iceland, knowing that she might reject him in the end. So this is it, the last moments of Clayton's journey to find love with Susie in Iceland. He is dressed for the occasion in all black, knowing that all he wants is to be with Susie. He writes her a letter and Jesse delivers it. And Susie reads it, as we see footage of Clayton standing in front of his final rose and Susie getting ready to greet him at the podium. And Susie arrives and meets Clayton at the podium, and Clayton says he loves her and wants to have a family with her, pulling out a ring to show his commitment. And Susie says that she has received his letter and believes he is speaking his genuine truth, but she cannot accept his proposal, and says that she doesn't think he is her person, which is ouch. And Clayton needs to hear that, tell me that it's over, he says, and she says with a heavy heart, it's over. And that's it. Clayton was rejected by Susie and left Iceland single, but Jesse Palmer teases that the story didn't end there. Jesse Palmer is pretty funny, and he said that this season took 3 years off his life, but with Clayton in the hot seat, he questions him on where his journey went after Iceland. Clayton says his journey didn't end there, and it is revealed that someone reached out to him after his journey ended. And the suspense was real, as that mystery woman finally was revealed. And it's none other than Susie Evans herself. She walks out and greets Clayton with a kiss. Susie and Clayton reveal that they are now boyfriend and girlfriend, and they have reestablished their relationship after the show ended in Iceland. Susie acknowledges that there will be some backlash, but she hopes that Bachelor Nation can eventually come around and support them. And of course, it's hard because of what happened with Rachel and Gabby and how Clayton handled himself during his final days as the lead. But in his mind, it was all worth it because he did end up with the person he wants to spend the rest of his life with, and that person is Susie Evans. Jesse Palmer then asks them, what's next for you two? And Clayton says that he is moving to Virginia to be with Susie, and he really wants this to work because she is the love of his life. And in the end, Clayton gets up and surprises Susie with something, and it kind of looks like a proposal, but instead he presents her with the final rose, asking her to accept it, and Susie says yes. And again, it's pretty hard and bittersweet, as you want to be happy for them, but there is so much controversy around this entire situation. So I'll take the advice of Rachel's father, Tony, and not say anything negative at all. And like other controversial couples in Bachelor Nation, time will have to heal all wounds, and there have been success stories with controversial endings, with the most famous being Jason and Molly back in 2009. But of course, each season is different, but it definitely did feel like a Peter Weber 2.0. But we can finally say goodbye to Clayton as the franchise's 26th lead as The Bachelor. You could say it was a success story, and again, time will tell if Susie and Clayton are truly committed to each other for the long haul. But Jesse Palmer teases that the next Bachelorette will be revealed before the episode is over. So without further ado, Jesse Palmer announces that both Gabby and Rachel are sharing the title as Bachelorette number 19. They are both so excited to be taking on the role together after really connecting during their drama-filled experience with the ending of Clayton's season, and they are there to support each other as they both are ready to find the love of their lives. But even though there is excitement for Gabby and Rachel both taking the lead, I think there is concern about how exactly this will all play out with both women taking the role, as I would have hoped they could have separate seasons like Katie and Michelle, but the franchise gives and the franchise takes. But I am happy about Rachel and Gabby both taking the lead, and it was announced that their season will air on July 11th, which is a little later than usual, and I am always getting ahead of myself because I'm thinking, will Paradise be airing after that, or are they going to do the Bachelor Senior Edition in the fall? Who really knows? But Jesse Palmer will be there to support Gabby and Rachel as they both take on the lead of the next season of The Bachelorette. So until then, enjoy your 3 months off from this franchise, Bachelor Nation. It's been a non-stop ride since Katie Thurston's season last year. You deserve a well-earned break before we see Gabby and Rachel's journey beginning in the summertime. Thank you for watching Whitney Alex Works' recap of The Bachelor Season 26, Episode 12, the finale Part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Whitney Alex Works for more videos in the future. See you down the road for more TV recaps as I plan to expand beyond the Bachelor franchise, so I'll keep you updated on that. But enjoy your spring break, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning into my channel. Peace and love to all. Signing off for now. Love, Whitney.